reevaluate what the situation is and address it. Brother Tabakeet's point have merit. He started off by saying, he would not encourage anyone to disrespect Dr. Rowley or Camille Robinson Regis the same way he wouldn't encourage anyone to disrespect Sister Jillian John, because she's also a member of our community. However, in the same vein, he said that persons in our community will go after each other for the sake of politics, not realizing that we're all one community. And the fact of the situation is, I go back to saying, is that we have not learned how to make politics, the vehicle, work for us as a community. Instead, the politics work us as the vehicle. So it's a reverse thing. But I guess with prayers and a whole lot of love, we're going to get there eventually, yeah? Let me see who's there. Caller, you live.
Yes, good afternoon to my sister Aisha.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I want to say something. I have a problem. That my husband in 2000, and where was living rather, in 2019. And from then, I went to the social development office in Tunapuna. And I gave these people, it is 3 times I gave them my new address to change any letter they have from me, to change it and send it to this new address. And you will believe me, it is a year and 7 months now. After June month, I went and gave them the address again. And up to now, they cannot send they haven't changed the address. They haven't changed the address up to now. And look how it's easier now. You could text. You understand? You could call. It is so simple. This man where he was living, his house burned down. So any letters that go to him, it is not going to that old address. It is going to this new address. You will tell me a year and 7 months, and you have credit and your union men talking about public servants is working. The office of a worker, I can't give her that 3 times in the hand, and up to now, it is hard rendering. It is hard rendering, When you see the mountain come to, they have me like a fish out of water. I had to go there, come here, go there, come here, come here. Why not this so?
Why it continues to be that way? Let me explain something to you. There are people that sit down in some of these businesses, these government businesses, who have belonged to a union and nobody can hire or fire them. So they do what they want, when they want. They take the time. They do what they're supposed to do. They do what they're supposed to do. They paint their nails and they go home. And the sadness of this situation is we have to find a way to address these faceless people. Because that's what they is. They sit down in positions of authority and they don't do what they're supposed to do. And, oh, well, life goes on. I still getting pay. That's the mentality. That's the mentality.
Yeah. But what is it? I reach a point now. So what did I have to do? I have to go to the media a day and tell them, come and meet me at that office, and I'm going to expose them. I'm going to put them on the media. That is I have to get it done. I'll get it done because I had a representative. She come on the radio with Google program, and said, yes, she know about my problem. And up to now, she never helped me out with it. And I'm still in the spot. I'm still in the spot. Why? Because, and Dr. Rowley said, when Dr. Rowley said some of them sit down in the office, they're not working. And when the day they didn't get paid, they're hitting the road, all of them going marching, If they didn't get paid for a month, and look how much months, a year and 7 months I waited. Just to change the address, This man not living there anymore. He's at this new address, and call and say, so now, you got to write a letter, a long time writing a letter. I don't know what it is I don't know what it is to do. So I think, and you see African people have to get together because you see, we don't read the Bible, we don't follow the Bible. Because Christ said, I came unto my own. You know what is my own? His people. He came unto his own. Watch the birds and them. I don't watch these animals. The pattern they say, The birds, all of them together, blue jeans, kiskidi, how we call it, gong dove, all of them, mountain dove, all of them, all together. Because birds are one side of flock together. They stick together, regardless of what thick or thin, we are together. And unless we don't do that, we cannot make it. Because I will be a Pakistan, and I was in good. I watch it good. It has some Indians would watch the African cars coming and they won't go in there with especially for Indians to do that. So why we cannot do the same thing too? Why we cannot do it? Is it a simple way to do it? That is what I ask myself. If pattern man, you got to say nothing. That's what they do and do the same thing too. Because they're supporting the people. You can't be president for that, you know. They are supporting the people. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. The lines are open. We're taking your call. So I am back on the internet, yeah? Let me see who's on my live stream. Good afternoon to Valerie Lazama, to Anne-Marie St. Hill Raj, to Joycelyn Raghunath Singh, and to all of you on the live, yeah? Remember to like the video and share the live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Aisha.
Hi, how are you doing, Mova?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello.
Well, you know, I'm positive, prosperous, passionate. We must elevate our people. We must speak positively. Whatever we know, too many black people die with their knowledge. Let me say it again. Too many black people die with their knowledge, and we spend too much time with negativity. To all the black people who do business, time for you to get up and help your own. Anybody who do business, come up and don't forget the bacchanal. Let's talk to help our own. We start with unity. Unity comes whenever or wherever there is prosperity. We tell the people again, unity comes whenever or wherever there is prosperity. Be it a family, be it a school, be it an organization, a bank, a supermarket, something, and the word is prosperity, right? And we have to learn that. If you notice, when we had the Black Caucus, one of the things an organization stand with is you must contribute something financially. You must build it up financially. If you notice with the Wayne Chancellor, when he had helped the people, they will not put in the money to help him only after a certain time. And I always talk money, because if you talk bad talk, pull down, all them things, you will never get through. You have to have a culture. If your father leave land or your mommy leave land, everybody come together and put money. Don't go by the lawyer and you start a fight because you want it I. The word I does not work. We always work. Everybody put money together, you find the bounds or whatever you're doing, and you put money towards it. If you alone stand there as a business person, you will not make. You're doing the vending, you alone stand up there to go to the toilet, to go to this or that. You will not make. You have to have somebody else with you. In English, saved my money because I used to teach people. I tried to teach these 150 people. So when the person talked about the laptop yesterday, I didn't answer. Because when I...
Thank you so much, Mova. Let's see who's there. Call A Live.
Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. I listened to I feel the teacher man missed your point.
I think he caught on the point but wanted to derail it. That's just my view.
The point is, to me, black people get together. To me, that is the whole point.
I don't know how he ended up on Mirage and Anand Supermarket.
Because he tried to change the conversation and change the narrative of the conversation. But you see, that last man, the money man, pointed out to something, and that is the problem I have with me. Put $100 going on black grocery as well. And this is not the first time that happened. My TK, Lennox Smith, and all of them, Million Man March, put your money in this.
Hey, you know, I forget that.
Black people in Trinidad, we come together and we put the money in. And we still looking for Monroe. What is him? Monroe Tucher. They make a song and then they disappear on me. So you want me to come together again, Miss Welch? Afraid.
I hear you. Listen. I hear you.
I am afraid.
I hear you. Listen.
So I prefer when the black man open the business, I go and buy me, but I'm not putting no money in.
Listen. I am hearing you, and you have merit in what you're saying. I hearing you, and you have merit in what you're saying. But are we going to allow one bad apple to spoil the whole tree?
But you see, we've been trying this for years, and we've been trying, and again, it ain't one bad apple. We have several examples. I need two. and so we political mileage. So it seems as though it leads Mr. Manning call all the fellas together. You know what I say? Mr. Manning call all the crime bosses together and then all of them come and dead. So how it is a black government supposed to pull black people together? Because I think we coming together, I don't. Because if we try that again, we got to go on with money again. So the only alternative is for we to get politically skewed. And now, as I pointed out to Anderson, the same people in the beacham, we come together, we buy an excavator, we do have to beg. When they come to tell people what we want, this is what I want. But we don't do that. We prefer get a grocery and a handout that goes like Anderson. They what you don't do for we. But we can't say, Heinz don't give you nothing. You know why Heinz don't give you nothing? Because we ain't giving ourselves nothing. So now we have to be giving something to something and you ain't seen it moving or progressing. Think about it, Aisha.
I'm thinking, listen, I'm not arguing with you. You're right. You are on point.
You're giving a man a fish every day. And the day he decides to teach him to fish, he have a problem. And that is what is happening in our black community.
So how do we address it then? I hear all the reasons why we can't do it.
It had to start now because I see we have we have a black political leader. And I see they give Heinz a position. So now we're going into agriculture because Mr. Manning to try to remember. Mr. Manning had tried to make a farm down Tucker Valley and the same Mr. Manning was going mad. Today, if we had the same Tucker Valley farms, you know how far advanced they are today? Instead of that, they give you Karen Green to say they're planting pepper. You understand my point, ma'am? We of our own self don't know what we want as black people. And that other black people came down our road and for 50-something years. How much have we? We talk about 1%. We was here before the 1%. And after 1990, then by all.
But Barataria, again, I know what all our problems are. I live in the community. I am part of the problem. I'm saying, how can we address it going forward?
We have to get politically skewed and demand that we want.
But we have been politically skewed from before everybody else. We've been in power since 1956.
What do we do? Why? What do we do with our community centers? We show a cake fair. Why Tobago is more advanced, Tobago don't have a harvest. What we do that? We can't tell the people in Lavan to come up on top of the hill in John and we have a pan. What they call it, a virtual pan. And use the pan center to launch a virtual pan. So we can show pan surely. We can't do that then because down the road fighting with up the road. That's the point I'm making. We have our own self. Have to understand that we have to come together as well.
And that I think that is everybody's point, eh?
And that is really political. And they have to say PNM might be racist, but somebody in the political arena has to stand up now and tell black people enough is enough. Too much handout. And if we get rid of the handout, give me syndrome and start getting for ourselves. Because ever going on. I'm over making a point. I'm over there and leave a house. And 5 brothers in the house. And you know what we do? We put 5 little apartments, everybody have 2. And you know what we could have do there? All of we live just like the Chinese or the Spanish who come in here and out. All of we live in the same room, in the same upstairs, and rent out the downstairs. And that one house, buying a house for Harry, Paul, John, and Jane. But instead of that, all of we put up a 2-bedroom, and we remain there, and generation and top of generation coming to live in the same 2-bedroom. Fix the family first, and then we go fix the wider society. Enjoy evening.
Thank you so much, Barataria. I mean, there's a lot of merit in what he is saying. I see a lot of negativity in what he is saying too, but I take his point. I'm going to read your comments on YouTube. Man, YouTubers on the inside, man. Nick Star, good afternoon to you. She says it's finally up. She hope it stays up. I too. She says years after the abolition of slavery and the civil rights movement, it's more of a psychological issue than a financial issue. We have the means and the ways, but we lack the unity and the discipline. Michael McKenna says she hopes the live stays up so you could listen to the program. I hope so too. And Famous Us says good day to everyone. Feel free to call us on YouTube. Feel free to call us on WhatsApp. WhatsApp 771-1791. Send your voice notes as well. Caller, you live.
Good afternoon, Aisha.
Good afternoon.
I wanted to talk about the gentleman who died in the hospital in San Fernando, but I talk about that another day because I was impressed with Mr. Barataria. Of course, with Mr. Moba too. But 2 things I object to what he was talking about is the gimme and the pulling your finances together, and because you have to get the mind, because somebody would be good at one thing, whereas your finance, one construction and different things, and you can build from there. And you say one bad apple can't spoil the whole bunch, okay? And you have to put things in place and know that people can maneuver over a whole lot of things, because you can't suffer. But you have to try, and if you can't trust yourself, I mean, who else would you trust? And Aisha, you see, like gimme, they always look at it as though it's African, it's gimme. Why do you think those people go into politics poor and out rich?
No, you're right. They only look at us for gimme. You're right. Some of these people who became wealthy overnight did it.
And their friends too, when they get there, they look after their friends.
That's right.
The poor getting poorer, right? Because let me tell you, money is power, right? You can do anything you want when you have more money than the government can use, right? Because the government has to use taxes, and those rich people who get in it don't want to pay their taxes. They don't want to pay any taxes, but they'll go away and pay all the taxes for everything they purchase, right? But they don't want the government to earn money, so they can have control, right? And concerning people who they would say, oh, they don't have computers, they don't have this. You have to look at how you're managing your money. I'm not saying I'm talking about...
In general, I understand.
Right. You see people with expensive things, and actually people buy things. You can't eat 2 pounds of food for lunch, 2 pounds for breakfast, 2 pounds. Oh, God, you know what you want, where your focus is. You have to know that, listen, I have 6 children, and I want all of them to have the earning, but they must have an education, right? Some form of education. You don't have to be bright to become a professional afterwards, because gradually you could advance yourself as time goes on, right? So you don't spend all your money eating, why you want to live your community to go down the road to another country when you could buy your stuff right there. It's because something, if I spend it, somebody's going to know how many, somebody's going to come and rob me. You cannot rob your business person and expect people to shop there. The business is going to come to the person who doesn't want to shop because they're afraid that somebody will take what they just purchased, right? So you have to watch yourself, protect your community. Anybody steals from that person there, you hold them, you reprimand them. You must say, no, you cannot do that in our community. Your community is dirty, clean it up. The other people clean it up. And they put a gated community because they want there to be in a certain condition. You have to start from you. Okay, I should be.
Thank you so much. I know a lot of people passionate about this topic. And I think it is a passionate topic. It's time for us to get passionate about it. You see, we only see the issue. Let me take this call and I'll get back to the point. Caller, you live?
Yes, I am.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
I agree with Taria because I've had a similar experience, and even and you asked for a solution, but I think the solution could be lies in ourselves and how unified we are as individuals first in a family, and then pulling our talents and resources together. It has been done in music, it has been done in culinary arts, I know it has been done through sports, but we need to get together. But you see, that is by nature, slavery had left us in a kind of a quandary in knowing ourselves, because it seems to be we are consumers of everything else, and we have been influenced a lot where others might have had, especially the East Indian, they can trace back because it was not taken away or from them. They have maintained it because they were brought in a different ship. So I just believe that the unity begins with us individually as our characters willing to share. But the problem is when we had the Black Caucus, a lot of people have been stained by that because a lot of, what they call it now, people were not given their dues, and it closed up because people invested and nothing happened, you know. And because of that, other people wanted to play or power seekers in one room. And when you have a bunch of power seekers, they all have their own agendas and go to have their own organization. Until that day where we can really honor and respect each other, that lies within us because we always tearing each other down. So the point is, I think the solution lies within ourselves, the unity we must show among our family and sharing it within our community and then broadening it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, let me read your comments on YouTube. Famous Us is saying, blacks are holding the 3 highest offices in this land. The public service, the state boards, plus the police and the army. Apparently what is missing is the lack of cooperation. And that is what we were talking about in the beginning. For some strange reason, politics would work for others and it won't work for us. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But I also understand that we have held political systems from since the inception, from 1956 until now. But somehow we haven't gotten that vehicle that is politics to work in our advancement. Maybe it'll happen coming around 2020, seems to be changing the world. But I'm simply saying it has to be something more than politics. Because we've been holding positions of power from since I could remember. Just take a look at the persons who would have led our country, the prime ministers of this country, with the exception of 2. The presidents of this country, with the exception of none. Could we say Nur Hassan Ali? He was mixed, maybe. But I want to say we have not been lacking in leadership. We have not been. But I think it has to have a little more in the leadership to move us where we need to go. Just my humble opinion. So let me say good afternoon to Mr. Bagel. Mr. Bagel is in the house and she's locked on. Good afternoon to you. Caller, you live.
Good day, Aisha.
Good day to you.
Aisha, we need to stop lying to ourselves and stop saying the PNM is a black party. The PNM is a serious party, a 1% party. Because if we could be in power for 40-something years and we don't even have 20 black millionaires that is equal to the PNM has created, other than two government, what we're really doing, we are our own enemy by putting them back in office and expecting them to make it better. Why is love until in the state station it was in from 1960 to now? I beat them God not developing because it is very difficult for them to leave it like that. Let me talk real, Aisha. Are talking real?
Well, I won't say that you're talking real, but I'm taking note of what you're saying. I'll say that.
Nah, don't lie to yourself.
No, because I'm saying as much as we're saying that stuff wasn't done, there was a lot of stuff done too, and we didn't take the opportunity. So I don't want to paint it all across the board with one brush. I want to be balanced on the issue. There was a lot of opportunity for advancement in our community, but maybe we weren't knowledgeable to take advantage of it. So then I can't say that they didn't do. I'm thinking that we too could have dropped the ball. It could have been that way too.
No, but if we sit down here and keep the two finger pretty red, and we ain't get no justice or no better representation, and we see any 1% open up more branches of fast food chains so we didn't get employment and more grocery and these fellas driving more and we getting less. Then what we doing? The PNM Aisha, you was in the belly of the beast. You could name 20 business people from your area who became millionaires from anybody in government, getting a contract or anything. And don't tell me we don't have the talent, because that's the biggest land we have. It arrests in all the communities. You could tell me anybody who you know could become a millionaire and empower the rest of we? Who we looking up to? If a youth in Lavantil, and I look up to somebody to aspire to be, he looking at about 1%. He can't even look up at another black brother.
All right, caller, thank you so much. I've taken note of what you're saying. I've taken note. There is merit in what you're saying, but like I said, in addition, we in the community have to take some blame as well. We have to. Because the same way that we have been around with political power from 1956 to now, there were opportunities from 1956 to now, and some of us just missed the damn boat. Real talk. It's either we missed it or we didn't want to be on it. Because other people jumped on it. I'm just saying. So we too have to take some responsibility, yeah? Just to be fair. Caller, you live.
A pleasant good day to you, Aisha.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm good, actually. Aisha, let me tell you something, right? I listened to that caller, but certain things that he said, I can agree with it. But what I can say, though, is that the PNM had encouraged a lot of nonsense in that particular area, just as the UNC will encourage in Saparia. You know what I'm saying? But we get too comfortable as a people, and we don't know when to draw the line and to cut the rope. And the moment we start to do that, it will be a wake-up call for this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul. Okay, let me read your comments. Kerry Thomas said, I understand Mr. Moneyman Mover. I bound to say unity brings prosperity and not vice versa. Michael from Canada is wishing my son happy birthday. Thank you so much, Michael, on behalf of my boy. All right, so Crystal Joseph says, Mr. Mover, come in. We need financial advice. Mover, they're looking for you. Crystal Joseph says, we have a mentality that while there are many other races who are at the top, when it comes to Africans, there is a mentality that only a few or one African that must make it. All right, so Ernest Rodney says, Aisha, I feel our people think we must. We must. Let me see what you guys are saying on the outside. I see you. I'm going to play some voice notes now, people. Stay with me, and I'll go back to the phone lines directly after the voice notes. Yeah, so let me take it from the top.
Good afternoon, Aisha. A point just came into mind where the fact that, you know, growing up in an African home, you're seeing your parents going to work, trying to make ends meet, always working at 8 to 4 or 6 to 6 with the security and 12 hours and these shifts and stuff. And, you know, we parents always tell us go to school and get a proper education, get a proper job, you know, and stuff. But in the East Indian homes, they always about, you was seeing your parents getting up early on mornings, going to pick vegetables in the farm and going to sell it and produce things, and it was always a business head. So, and they were saying, you know, own your own business in the East Indian. So I believe that is our main problem, stems from small. We want to be able to get a job, and we don't know nothing about business or have any family members within the business, and you know, these things.
Thank you so much. So one of my texters on the YouTube is saying, you know, Lenore is saying, Aisha, great program, very knowledgeable, keep up the good work. Many African Trinidadians have great business ideas, but to apply for a loan in the bank, we're usually turned down and they're given to other races. Well, boycott the bank. Do you know last year, and I'll give you this example, Lenore, I don't know, something wrong with me, you know, I tell people something is wrong with me. I personally think so. Last year, I had a disagreement, I'd use that word, with the people at Scotiabank. Yes, I had a disagreement with the people at Scotiabank. And I went into the bank one day like a mad lady, and I kindly asked to speak to the manager. I explained what my dissatisfaction was. I asked them to return my money forthwith, close my account, and do business no more. I closed the entire account in one day. The manager looked at me like, she normal? And I left with a whole check for the amount that I had at Scotiabank. Up to today, I get a call from Scotiabank and I was highly surprised. Shocked. With them saying, Miss Wells, do you want to reconsider doing business with us? We can come in and look at the options that we have available, etc., etc., etc. We have to understand as a community that we have power. These banks depend on our business like everybody else, just like all these fast food and all these people. They depend on our business. It's a business that they are giving us. It's a service. And you are entitled to your rights and opinions. If you were in a bank for 56 years, I'm using an example, and when it's time to get a loan, they have all kind of monkey semantics and reasons why you can't get a loan. And yeah, let me tell all my business. The loan was to open my same business that I opened, my home care agency. I went to Scotiabank and they highly gave me all the reasons why I couldn't get the loan after doing business with them for years. My first car loan was with Scotiabank. So all you could have given me a loan to buy a car, but you can't give me a loan for business. No problem. We would do business no more. Yes, I just tell all in my business. Plain and simple. And we had to start to demand respect. That's the only way they're going to respect us. I tell you, they call me today, quiet. Hi, Miss Wells, how you doing? It is Miss Premdas from Scotiabank, and we would like you to come in and talk with us. Are you willing to work with some of the ideas that we have that we think can suit your business at this time? They want to talk business now. I don't want to talk business no more. And we had to start to think like that. You can't be giving loyalty and service to a bank for 10, 15 years. And when it's time for you to go for a loan to open a business, they're giving you all the reasons why they can't. My money been giving loans to other customers for years. So why discriminate against me? Because when you get my money and you're banking my money, you're giving it to other customers. But when I come, is a problem. Look, she sent me down a whole... I forget what we was talking about. First, I get hot with Scotiabank. Lenore, you raise a aunt's nest day. You raise a aunt's nest day. I hear you. But it's time for us to stop crying victim. We can do something about our situation. We just have to understand that there's something can be done. Yeah?
Aisha Wells, good afternoon. I hear what I call her now say, right? But plenty of the time them youths nowadays, they really want to do anything with themselves. Right? Because we see in here Ghanese, Vincentian, Grenadian, they come in here and making it. Right? That alone showing me that something wrong with we people here in Trinidad, because people coming from all over and making it, getting land, house, car, and they making it here. So something had to be wrong with the Trinidadian people. They're just lazy. Get up and do something with yourself. Do a little course, do a little something. Think about life. Think about everything. Right? Don't get up and just look for handouts. Get up and get.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. The caller before who talked about no black role models and that the PNM was in power for so long and they have not created any millionaires. That is exactly the reason why we as black people continue to remain poor. Unlike the other races, they create millionaires. They don't wait for somebody to do it. And the PNM cannot create a millionaire if you don't want to be a millionaire. The PNM cannot give you a contract if you are not so constituted. So we have to stop blaming people and take responsibility for our own destination. The government didn't fix the areas and other areas, and the people did it themselves. You have to take responsibility for yourselves. Stop looking at other people alone and blaming other people, but accept responsibility. Because the same people who say this one get that, they must look at what are the things that they don't do that we do. Borrow money to eat and spend and party and play carnival and travel around the world. They don't do that. That is why they are millionaires, not because the government simply helped them. Sure, exactly what you just said there concerning the bank. And what you did is how we need to operate. What we will do is say that the government should do this, the government should control the banks, the government should do this. And we don't seem to understand that the power lies with us, but we must do something with it. Not sit down and wait and blame everybody else.
I'm telling you my business further, Texter. This same money that I had with Scotiabank when I parted ways, I took it in two, and I went one Eastern Credit Union and two Venture Credit Union. So I closed one account with Scotia, and I went Venture, and then I went Eastern. I don't do much business with Eastern because I have some issues with Eastern too. Eastern, I will talk about Eastern another day. But so far, Venture Credit Union have been working for me. It has been working alongside my business. Yeah, so I'm saying there is options. We just can't sit and take the garbage. Another bank I'm about to tell where to get off is RBC. But the only reason why I ain't tell them where to get off yet is because my family is employed with that bank for years. So out of respect for my family, I ain't tell RBC where to get off yet. But you see them unnecessary maintenance fees that you just take out of nowhere every month, and then you be the hardest people to get a loan from, and you have all these semantics and monkey issues why other people check can't change by you and why you can't deposit other people check by you and all of that. I soon come for you, RBC. But I'm saying all of that to say we have to start to understand that there is rights, we have rights, and if we think as a community, them kind of monkey semantics that the banking institution continue to give us, they will have to revisit it. But I am just one person out of 1.3 million people we would tell them where to get off. It had to have 1.3 million, and we telling them where to get off for them to understand that the system needs to change. I tell you, there's something wrong with me, you know. All right, so let me read some messages. One texter is saying, brainwashed education and religion has hindered us emotionally and economically. It's a matter of who and what we school and church we attend. That determines our position in society. Unity lies within ourselves and then in our family, then community. From there goes on the country and the region. It's time to stop being consumers. For me, that's to learn to support our own first genuinely. Consumers and of other races and not their own, we must come off. All right, let me see who else is there. All right, someone is saying, good day, miss. I will live in the community where Fitzgerald run for, and I do a letter to help me to get a HGC home. I apply 18 years now and I never get it, so I hope the position he helps the youth. Okay, I'll take another call. Yeah, caller, you're live.
I still want. I don't really want. I still want to spend.
Hey, madman, what's going on?
I check and see on the fence. You see, here's the problem. I say here's the problem, and I'm glad you're beginning we are planting it. Is there any African junior army in this country? No. Is there any African Chinese restaurant? No. Is there African need to marry some Indian girl? I make some pulori and some double place and roti and things. You understand? This is the problem in this country. I want to see more Douglas people like myself living it up. Them bank on them. See them bank on them, yeah. Them don't give nobody. Them don't want to give me no loan. They want to start drama with all kind of questions. What's that? Them are like nobody. All them care about, they make $1 billion, is $1,000 million every year profit. And they make 1,000 short. If we say they make 900,000 this year and they make $10 short next year, they're crying. They're not like nobody. Them bank and them are like nobody. I don't deal with them. No much Eastern Credit Union, like my place. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let me take it afternoon to Pastor Google on the live. How are you doing, Kevin Henry? Hope all is well with you, bro. Anton Mark says, Aisha, you should join TechU. You would love it. It's the best credit union. Trust me, it is so good. You have to get someone to recommend you to join them. If you want, I will recommend you and I will sign you up. Every year you receive $1,500 to $200 in dividends from TechU. I'll definitely consider TechU. Inbox me some more information about them, yeah? Let me see who else is there and what you guys are saying on the outside.
Good afternoon, Aisha. I believe I won't blame the government for everything, but we as black people, we are our own downfall, right? Regardless of what community we from, we always fight along one another. I mean, never uplift one another. You understand? Because simple things Simple things like your own business in the area. Sometimes people want to break it open, the teeth in from it. It's all kind of things, and sometimes be just the encouragement in running your own business. And with that bank issue, I do like them old people. Yes, I put my money under the mattress because it didn't make no sense. Them institution, they always giving the loan to the people who don't want, and you just saving your money and you ain't getting nothing out of your money. So you better do as I'm serious and invest.
Good evening, Aisha Tobago in the house. Listening to the program, good program. Be talking about bank don't like to give black man money to do business. That is truth. That is why I, black woman, puts my money in the credit union. And credit union ain't hesitating to give you money for your business. You go there with your business plan and you talk to the manager, whoever. You might make a thing and you might have wanted, say, 40,000. And when them don't see your plan, you live in there with more than the 40,000 that you really want to. And credit union is for the black man. I quite agree with you. I was in that same position. I would have get on like Chief Mad Horse. I wanted my money right away, close up, never to return. And that same bank, Aisha, you know what I do? We had a bill to pay for somebody in Trinidad. And we went to deposit the person's money into their account. And they told us plain blank, we're not doing that anymore. You will have to open up an account in order for the money to go to the person's account. And I was like, I give them an annual Roberts. What?
They talk. You talk. Come talk with us. On the street, 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the street 919.